So know that the Bodhisattva, holding to nothing whatever, dwelling in Prajna wisdom, is freed of delusive hindrance, rid of fear bred by it, enters clearest Nirvana. So the question is, what illusions have I seen through during the lockdown, during the coronavirus? So the main thing for me has been any illusion of certainty. I still find that I expect things to happen and that I plan for a future in which there's a lot of expectation of certainty. Things will happen in a certain way. So I crave this stability and security the way I did before the lockdown. But what the lockdown did bring home in the pandemic is how vulnerable and fragile we are. And regardless of how we want things to be, things will just turn out differently. So I think there was always a certain level of permanency that I would seek, even if it was just temporarily permanent, as in the next 5 years I'll do this. And there has been a bit of freedom actually in realizing just how uncertain things are, that I do have to let go because certain things are just unpredictable. And this is what the Buddha's message also points out to when it's pointing to impermanence, is that we seek permanence, we seek security, we seek stability, because we feel our vulnerability deep down, but we don't want to admit it, and we create these illusions to go beyond this vulnerability instead of simply feeling into it. And through that feeling arises compassion with each other and the whole life, and maybe a willingness to be a bit more creative instead of fixing solutions, fixing things into patterns that we feel safe and secure with, often selfish patterns. And this was brought home strongly with my own, just coincidentally, my own father. I was back in Dublin looking after him for 15 months as he was dying from a lung disease, so pulmonary fibrosis, a lung condition. And just watching him, staying with his anxiety, staying with his appreciation and gratitude, staying with all these really strong emotions during the lockdowns. Nobody else really in the house other than myself and Christy looking after him. And as he got closer and closer to the end, and just seeing how visceral and alive this uncertainty actually is, to see a slow dissolution of a life and his own denial of this, until in the end all denial crumbled in the face of the inevitable, and how tenacious that even entitlement to that we feel to permanence and certainty and security, and how anger can arise in the face of what is actually the fact of impermanence. So yeah, that was quite a hard but also very rewarding lesson. But of course it's a lesson I learned close to someone I loved and watching the destruction of their body. But I still think it's different when it comes to yourself. So I still think I haven't fully taken in that lesson, but I've taken it in more than I had just through conceptual understanding. But I still think when my own time comes, will I be able to actually accept it, or will I rail in fury against how things really are? So enjoy your week, and best of luck uprooting uncertainty.